So Ness just asked me, why am I so tired? Why didn't I get sleep at work? Normally at work, right, drill sergeants can get a few hours of sleep while they're on CQ. I didn't get a chance to get any sleep, and Ness is asking me why. So I had to tell her that if the trainees be bad, then they can get kicked out of the Army. I told her I had to write them up, and I asked her if she wanted me to tell her what they was doing. So what was our conversation, Ness? Remember?
So you asked me, do you know what happens when a guard falls asleep?
So I told her, I'm explaining to her that the reason why the trainees were being bad is because they're supposed to be guarding the other trainees. They're supposed to be a guard. And I told her that they fell asleep. And I asked her, what happens when a guard falls asleep? What'd you say, Ness? Can it happen when a guard falls asleep?
So then only one guard will be protecting the whole building, and then he'll maybe want to copy the other guy, maybe?
So I'm the guard that's guarding the whole building, right? But so there's difference, like there's a stairs, and we call it a floor. Like when you go upstairs, that's the second floor, and then you go upstairs again, that's the third floor.
Okay, so like downstairs.
So all the male soldiers, you know the difference between a male and a female?
Yeah.
All the male soldiers, they live on the second floor, on one half of the second floor.
Okay.
But when I went in there, there's two guards. Both guards were asleep. So what is that? What do you think happens when that happens?
And then they got in trouble by you?
Yeah, but what can happen if the guard goes to sleep? If it's two guards, what happens if they go to sleep?
Then some bad guys might come in there?
Exactly. That's what the concept of it. That's what we want them to think. They're learning that if they go to sleep while they're guarding, the bad guys, we call the bad guys the enemy. The enemy could come into the area, and the enemy can hurt. It can start attacking people or stealing stuff that's very important to the team. They can start stealing, like maybe they might steal like a walkie-talkie or a radio, or they could even, if they was slick, they could even steal like a vehicle, or they could steal weapons, stuff like that. So I had to go upstairs and I had to yell at the trainees, the two trainees, when they were sleeping. And since they were asleep, they made me so mad. Daddy was saying bad words. He was so mad. I was saying bad words. And I told all the males, I told them all to wake up, get out of your bunks. It was like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I told all of them, everybody get up, get up. I had to wake all of them up, and I made them stand next to their beds. We call them the beds bunks. I made them stand next to their bunks, right? And when I made them stand next to their bunks, the two guys that were the guards, and we call the guards fire guards. They have to pull fire guard duty. So I told them, I want you to go count everybody. Give me a count. They counted everybody. Guess what?
What?
Their number was wrong.
What was it?
I don't want to tell you. But the number was wrong what they counted. I know how many they're supposed to have, but they counted wrong. So I made them go back and do it all over again, right? So once they got the number,
that must be a lot of people.
It was a good little amount. So once they got the number of all their battle buddies, all the trainees, all the males, I made all the guys that were scheduled to be guards for the night, I told them to stand up against the wall. And I told them to go get their watches. And then I told them to stand up against the wall. Like if you have guard at 1 o'clock and then you have guard 2, 3, 4, 5, I want you all to stand up. And they always do guards and at least 2, never one by themselves. So I had a bunch of guys standing up there, right? And I made them all set their clocks. I said, if you know what time you're supposed to be on guard, you're gonna set your clock 15 minutes before that so that you can get up. Because really what's supposed to happen is whoever's the guard, they gotta go wake up the other guys who gotta be guards the next time. But since these two goofballs fell asleep, I didn't trust everybody to stay awake, so I made them, or even wake up on time, or wake up their partners, their battle buddies. So I made them set their own alarms. So that way the battle buddy got to go wake up. Whoever's on guard has to go wake up the next guy, but they should already be awake because their alarm went off, right? So that was one thing I made them do. And then whoever was on guard, they got to come down to me, all the way downstairs to me every 30 minutes, and they have to tell me how many of their battle buddies, how many males are upstairs, right? So along with that, the ones who fell asleep, I wrote them up. I had to write them up a paper. And on the paper, I told them, since you got in trouble and since you fell asleep, I said, you're gonna write down on a piece of paper, you're gonna write down this thing that I tell you to write down. So I told them integrity, to do what's right legally and morally. And that just means to do the right thing. If you know the right thing to do, then do the right thing. That's what it means, integrity, do the right thing, right? So I told them they was gonna have to write that down a bunch of times on a piece of paper, front and back, 2 pieces of paper, front and back. And then on the other one, I told them that they have to write duty, fulfill your obligations. That means the thing that you have to do, you better do it. That's what duty means. Something that you have to do, you better do it. Then I told them on another piece of paper, they're gonna also write, it is my duty to have integrity. So I have to make sure that I do the right thing. But then I got a little bit extra with it. I was gonna tell them to do this, but I didn't write this down to tell them to do it because it was just a little bit too much. Right? I said, no, it wasn't mean. It's just like being really annoying, which it shouldn't matter. They annoyed me, so I can annoy them. So I told them, I said I was gonna have you make me a loyalty and integrity and duty sandwich. So they was gonna have to make me a sandwich, right? So on 2 pieces of paper they had to write integrity. On 2 other pieces of paper they had to write duty, and then on 1 piece of paper they had to write duty and integrity, right? I told them make me a sandwich. You're gonna put 2 pages on top, 2 pages on the bottom, and 1 page in the middle. So they have to write 5 pages, right? Now guess why the special number is 5? Because they're supposed to come down to me and report to me every hour, right? So when it was their turn when they were late, their battle buddies were 5 minutes late, they had to write 5 pieces of paper because their battle buddies were 5 minutes late. The one guy had 8 candy bars. They're not supposed to have the candy bars.
Wait, what type of candy bars?
So they're protein bars.
Oh, I was about to say, give me some of those chocolate.
It is kind of chocolatey.
I mean, like, I don't really like protein bars, but I like chocolate bars.
How do you know if you haven't had these protein bars?
Well, like, what protein bars was it?
So they look like doo-doo, so sometimes I call them doo-doo bars.
Ew.
So the one guy, he wasn't supposed to have the eight candy bars in his locker, right? I caught him. He was sneaking them. He had 8 candy bars. So he had to write 8 pieces of paper. And then another guy, another time, had 5 candy bars. Well, 3 of them were eaten, and he was just the wrappers, and then 2 of them was not eaten. Yeah. So that's what Daddy's favorite thing to do when the trainees do something bad, to make them write stuff over and over and over and over and over again a bunch of times.
I mean, like, that's kind of mean, but since you're trying to be slick, thinking that you won't be able to get in trouble, you need to do that.
Yep. I have to show them discipline. Gotta make sure that they're disciplined.
I've heard that word before, but I never knew. I was like, I don't know what that means.
Yep. I'll explain it to you some other time, okay? All right, y'all, deuces. Just want to tell you what happened in the freaking Bears. Holla at your boy.